Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Hey kids! It's time to have fun! Ready, set, fire!
What the fuck did that say? This is so good. By the way, God bless whoever edited this video. That was the perfect ending to it, I'll be honest with you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, or welcome to yet another fine edition of GNF Televisable. And I see your little behind the scenes there, Sparkles. I see that you're going to be 5 minutes late. 5 minutes. I mean, realistically. I thought the missus was supposed to be many moons late, and then here you are trying to pretend that you have things that you do outside in the real world. So, yes, no, we're here yet again for another fine edition of GNF Televisable. It is a Friday for me, Saturday for some, and I hope everybody's doing well in Chatsville. Is everybody doing well, as usual, in Chatsville? Because we have, it seems like a resurgence of trying to go back in time. More so to the 1980s, somewhere around the 1980s to the 1990s, something like that. I have sent out the requests, and I have the old man from the bog.
Hey,
How you doing?
oh, not too bad.
Oh God, it's been a weird week for me, Jam. I don't know about you.
Like I said, I'm just barbecuing over in New York, and
Oh, nice. Oh God,
had some leg of lamb. So
it could be far worse. Really.
I know the sheep are easy to slaughter. So
that the is, especially when you have people willing to set things on fire. Mostly that.
Self-immolate. Yeah. So
yeah. What is the purpose for this time? I have to ask.
It might have been by the Clintons because he was friends with the Clintons, so you never know. I actually sent if you look in the back office, there's a video full video.
Yeah, I did look at it, and I'm still trying to
wrap your head around it. But the guy's like, "Hey, someone's trying to set himself on fire. Police!"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whatever. And then,
I mean, it's
shit,
just
that's
another
fire.
day in New York, apparently, it feels like. But I still want to get an idea of why they decided to,
They made a lot of videos apparently about it in a book, in a manifesto, and
yeah, okay.
so we might find out. We don't know.
Well, I hope so, because at the end of the day, I mean,
Apparently they
setting
didn't like the
oneself on
Clintons either,
fire,
but-
there's got to be a good messaging behind it, especially if you're going to have that level of a weenie roast.
Apparently he doesn't like Trump because Trump was friends with the Clintons at one point.
Well, yeah, Trump was a Democrat at one point.
That's my
math.
And I think they're going to cover this up because of that.
All right. I mean, it makes sense. I guess. See, again, Canadian wrapping brains around this thing, but okay, I guess it makes sense.
So they're probably going to cover up a lot of this. The manifesto is not going to come out. They were trying to say this guy was a crazy leftist at first, or right, I'll even that.
Righty, lefty.
And then they were saying, oh no, he's definitely lefty because he's friends. He was, pictures with Bill Clinton and Hillary, and
yeah.
Then there's videos of him desecrating stuff and posters of the Clintons.
All right. I mean,
there's a lot of weird shit out there about this guy.
I mean, I would have to say, I guess it makes sense. I will like the memeage.
Oh no, there's gonna be. That's the guy that right there who's in front of the fire that took the whole video.
No, I could tell.
But here was the thing: when people saw him pouring, if you watch that video, when he started pouring the fuel on him, so there were two types of people: the people that were like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here because I know what's happening next," and then there were people who just took out their phones and didn't try to stop him, didn't try to talk him down. They just bought the videos, like, "Yep, let's hit the record button."
Well,
I would have tried to talk to the guys like, "Hey, is it really that bad?"
Yeah, but we have hit that age of social media means everything. So I mean, I'm not entirely surprised that people stop to actually pull up their phones, because this is a great moment for their social media, whatever it is, Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth. So.
But I was sitting there thinking, like, if someone had because most self-immolating people don't want to hurt, just want to hurt themselves. They don't want to hurt others. Yeah. If you just get up close to them and talk to them, you can usually buy some time.
Usually, but again, it comes back down to people willing to put themselves
in that danger. And I know, but I would probably try to talk the guy out of it.
Yeah,
If my wife didn't go there, I'd usher her out. But
no,
at the same time, just like I'm looking at this guy, like, was it really worth it? The first thing I did was and nothing of value was lost. If I had been there, it would have been a different story. But I wasn't, so I was like, fuck it, it's already over. Apparently, because he was out there. And I'm watching CNN trying to say it's a mass shooting. Oh wait, no. She had such a smile. And the funny thing was, when she reported the story, she had a huge fucking smile on her face. Oh, it's a mass shooting. I can blame this on Trump. Oh, it's a fire.
Yeah.
You can literally see her go from to
I'm not surprised. I mean,
it's one of ours. God damn it! It's hilarious because literally to burn themselves alive.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're not going to procreate. Why not just end it as quickly as possible?
But I feel sorry for this guy. But at the same time, I'm going to make fun of him and hopefully discourage the rest of you from anybody else from doing this.
No, I'm gonna say if anybody decides to set themselves on fire, make sure you have many wings for that roast,
or at least some marshmallows.
So make sure people can either beat nice you out and girthy, or because if it's not nice and girthy, it's not going to fit well in the burger. So the bunnies always got to have.
Well, they're trying to say that the guy's alive. I'm like, No.
Well, if he's alive,
they said he's on a ventilator and he's alive, and I'm like, he's brain dead. Because when you burn yourself that way and that much flame and smoke, you're not getting oxygen. And he was burning for a good 3 minutes. And you're not. And the thing is, when you're that burnt, you can't breathe anymore or get the proper amount of.
No, that is true. That is true. But yeah, I did like Sparky's comment here. The most important questions were: is there hot dogs? And he
why do you think the cops took so long?
I know
they were trying to get the hot dogs.
Yeah, I know, right? I was talking about.
There's nothing like a New York cop doesn't like more than a hot dog.
I mean, so as long as they're not the ones on fire, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I love the when they were like, here's the thing. There was also when you were watching the cops put the guy out, this was the best part. They were trying to, instead of trying to put him out completely, they were trying to put the entire thing out next to him that was already out, and they were trying to put all of the fire out, which was hilarious. Instead of just putting him out and then pulling him out of the way, they were trying. And then, like, there were a lot of people like, "Well, he's gray. That's not gray. That is fire extinguisher. That is the talcum powder, or not the talcum powder, but the baking soda powder."
Yeah, but what they could have done was take dirt, throw it on top of them, and just stamped it out. But it would have been a lot easier.
Yeah, and while this is all going on, the Clintons are going, "We didn't start the fire."
Did you see the video? I think you saw the video. I should have. I was thinking about putting like Bill standing and Hillary standing next to it as an PNG. I was like, nah, that's just too on the nose.
Yes.
I don't want to get sued.
No. No, what you need to do is you need to put the guy who set himself on fire in a short format, have him on top, and at the bottom have Hillary Clinton, and as soon as he lights up, have the stupid little looking up face going, ooh, and have you looking up at the guy.
Well, here's the problem: the only place it won't get kicked off is on Twitter, which, by the way, I have a check mark now. I will soon.
There you go.
I finally got off my butt and decided to do it.
Well, congratulations. Welcome to the world.
It took me a while to find the credit card. You know it's hard to find credit cards at stores now?
Yes, it is.
They don't do that as much anymore.
No. Unless you get one of those kind of gift card credit cards. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and even those are a pain, yes. But, yeah.
You know, I'm going through my wife's Twitter, and the mama instincts are really kicking in.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
You think?
I was like, what was it? Your mother said I would take a baseball bat to say, "Hey, no, this is you're pregnant. You can't do that. Use this." And this little you can't exert yourself like you used to. This saw works better.
Yeah.
Here, use this use this M16. Has a better kick, but
here's the thing: limbs meant they don't grow back.
A boogie snickle, snip.
You sure about that?
And then the Muslims got, and then University of Tampa Bay had a man walking on the women's bathroom. It's illegal there in Florida to go into a woman's bathroom if you're not a woman. So apparently the dean saw this, was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm a woman." And said, "No, you're not." You have the. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. And then for lastly, as far as the actual news, the real news.
There's actual real news? I'm surprised.
Shit, now you lost my train of thought. The Muslims got kicked off that other campus in Kentucky, I think, or whatever.
Okay.
No one cares.
I didn't care because I didn't know about it, and I still don't know about it, and I still don't care.
I still really don't care about it either. I'm just like, okay.
I mean, it's up there with, Carl Benjamin deciding to become a member of UKIP so he can become a political activist, and to this day, I really don't care.
Is he running again?
No, I don't. No, don't care. That's how much I'm at with this.
All right.
Yeah, so.
All right, well,
yeah. I I mean, you'll be asking me if I cared about the whole pug thing that happened many moons ago, and I'm going, I didn't care about that. I don't see an issue. So, but no, the bigger issue that has been happening has been with the grifters getting their panties in a bunch over a model game that you get to smash at each, smash your toys against each other with a bit of dice throws and here and that over the certain Warcraft. World of Warcraft character.
That, yeah.
Yes.
I was wondering what you were going to. It's like, oh yes.
Yes.
No, you know what? I stopped caring about that.
The female custodies.
They said they've been saying they wanted to do this since the last 10 years. I think it was last 10 years. We want to bring, and then they kept on rebelling about it. They said, well, we'll get these. We'll sell these. These will sell, and it's like nobody's going to buy them.
Well, here's a beautiful thing. They have never made a female custodian model yet. They have been sued for not having certain models at the ready, and so they have put kiboshes on certain ideas. And this is a decade-old issue.
Yeah, I guess 10 years.
So and so going forward, if they don't have the model ready, they do not talk about said idea. But somebody decided to overrule some old ideas and said, no. They're now female custodians. But we're never going to put out the model head for it.
Or body.
No, you don't need the body because they're all in armor. All the armor for the custodians is basically the same.
Oh, I know.
So it doesn't matter. Now, you could probably put like swap it out with the Sisters of Silence because technically they have the same kind of armor if you really want to. But at the end of the day, it comes back down to I'm waiting for the lawsuit that could happen. So there's that.
What's that?
Oh, the factor that they don't have the fucking model. Keep that in mind. When it comes down to the Games Workshop, it's not about the books. It's not about anything outside of the models. When they don't have the models, that means that somebody outside of the Game Workshop can make that model, and they lose money, major money for that.
I know.
They're already losing money as it is because the model set that they have that are out there are pretty expensive as it is. So
and 3D printing is a thing now.
Yeah. So all it takes is one person to push out that idea that, hey, I have access to this particular thing. I mean, it's bad enough that they already fucked around with the lore before. No one really seemed to care about that. So,
I mean,
it just seems to be now that they care about the lore.
I think it's funny that they don't realize people can just go, buy it, scan it, and then have more people to play with. The people who have money will buy it, scan it, and then put it out there for other people to print, which has happened multiple fucking times now, I believe.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's never going to change, but they think that somebody's going to go out of the way, spend 300 bones on these toys that they're going to have to paint and all that kind of stuff when you can spend the same amount of money on a 3D printer and make as many of these things as you want.
Yeah,
and no one will ever know the difference.
Because except the fact it's not as heavy, which would actually be a good thing. So I've seen people lug around those.
Yeah, I know, but again, not necessarily. You can actually give a bit of weight to it if you really wanted to.
Oh, if you wanted to, but
But no, I've been watching the interwebs, the YouTubes, and I've been watching the grifters, as I like to call them, just sink their teeth into this. All the Games Workshop is gaslighting people. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
Here's the thing: there are guys that have been printing female ones already.
Yes,
and that's why they're doing this now. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, the guy that writes the fucking books, the man who's considered the lore master, has been wanting to do this for a while. So, and it just comes back down to that ruling, like, well, we can't do this because we're never going to make these models. So, all right. But no, I mean, the Space Marines were changed out. They used to be humans, and now they're meta-humans. Let's put it this way, and the gene seed and all that kind of shit. That was one of the major retcons for it. And then there was what was the other one? It was the Necrons. The Necrons were actually modified They were just like Terminators at one time, and all of a sudden now they have this Pharaoh kind of thing because they were tricked to be subservient to some whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean, the lore doesn't even make sense anymore.
I know, so it's like,
I don't really
hey,
care.
Dragon, how you doing?
I used to think it was cool, and I wanted to get into it, and then when they started fucking with it, I was like, yeah, it's not cool anymore.
Well, I mean,
Are we talking about Warhammer?
Yes, we are talking about Warhammer.
No, we're talking about
we need to get KG in for this one.
You do realize that the other person who understands Warhammer is sitting in this room right now talking to you, like
I'm
right now.
Yeah, well, I know, but I'm just saying
So
it would be cool. Actually,
it would be nice, but KG is busy doing KG related things,
know, but it'd be funny to get him to kind of spug a little bit because I know exactly he would spug.
Time out here, too. If Sparky, ask KG if he wants to come in right now. If he doesn't, he's going to miss out. It's fun.
Yeah, basically, I'm giving an opportunity. You have the opportunity to actually. I mean, it's in the back office. He could hit that button anytime he wants to. He knows he has access to it. So, but no, like I said before, the lore has been changed a few times. Hell, even the actual what is it? The age of Sigmar. That was another retconning of the universe. So, I mean, book-wise, I'm more of a book person than I am collecting the models. It's one of those things. I'm not a model collector, so I'm not going to take the time to actually read the entire, massive itinerary books it comes with because I don't know. I don't have the space or the time or the want to get all these figurines to smash against each other and take the time to paint them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I've gotten out of that kind of stuff too. I used to play Magic the Gathering, and I just got tired of collecting and playing with people because one, everybody became an asshole all of a sudden when they start putting this DEI stuff out there. And you couldn't have fun anymore. And then it became weird when people started talking about weird shit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I liked the Necrons before they changed them, and then they changed them. I'm like, well, they're not that interesting. So the only thing that actually does have a degree of creativity or freedom of creativity is the orcs, the green boys. They're the only ones that you can actually be very creative with them. Because there's no real solid lore for them, and you can kit bash them. And it works because that's part of their lore. They're the industrial ones. They come up with things that shouldn't work, but work for some reason. So that's the way how it is. So, but yeah. Dragon, how have you been? What have you been up to? I mean, he's here, but I don't think he's here.
Dragon,
catch the dragon. Dragon Balls Z. No? Okay. I tried. I attempted. I failed miserably.
I seen an anime where dragon got slain. So,
I mean, he could be still house hunting for all we know.
Hello. Look, apparently this fucking thing adjusted my audio settings.
Nice. I love it.
Because I've been responding to you this whole fucking time.
Oh, well, I didn't hear anything.
Hey, Dragon.
Yeah?
It sounded better the other way.
No, not really. Honestly, the reason I didn't notice the audio wasn't working right is I'm used to being
ignored.
Yes.
That's what I mean. It sounded better the other way.
The thing is, okay, Dragon, when do I ever ignore you?
That's the only reason I noticed. I expect Sparky and Jin Max to ignore me.
Yes.
No.
I
ignore Pin.
Yeah, I know. Well, most of us do. So that's
I don't ignore you. I just sometimes my mic.
Well, here's the problem. Pin has to be here to attempt to ignore you, and yeah, we know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, food's more important. But what were you saying while you kind of struggling with the audio? I'm
nothing.
Kind of curious.
Nothing.
Not important. That's.
Oh, God damn it. Here I thought it would be something fun and exciting.
Nope.
Very disappointing.
It's probably shut the fuck up. I'm trying to talk.
Probably. Probably, but yeah, no, that was kind of the biggest thing on the interweb for me. I know for Sparky there was another thing that was fucking around with his lore button. That would have been the whole Fallout Prime thing that came out for that TV series that myself, Nemo, and Sparky are still going through, even though most of us have already seen the entire thing. But regardless, the lore on that one that's interesting. There's another season for Fallout that'll be coming out soon. It's questionable of when.
Yeah.
So apparently Todd Howard is not the one involved, not very involved in this, but Microsoft is. So
I already knew that.
Why are you
I kind of
surprised by that?
mentioned that. So okay, so here's the funny thing. Todd Howard is involved. He is the lore master for this.
Yay.
So we know that he doesn't like a certain
That explains
collection of games.
That explains why the dates are so fucking off. That explains why that he wants power armor to fucking look like Iron Man or act like Iron Man.
Yeah.
That explains why there's so many fucking plot holes and inconsistencies within the show. Man, that just explains everything.
I kind of mentioned this before, but hey, whatever.
All I'm gonna ask is, what did you expect?
Not much.
Clearly, you expected a lot more than I did.
Not much, but better than what we got.
I didn't. I haven't watched it because I expected absolute shit. So
all right. So time out. I'll say this because since I'm like the one of the most negative naysayers about it. If you watch this thing in a bubble, you take the games out of it. You take the lore out of it. You take anything you know or belovedly know of Fallout out of the equation. You sit down and you watch this show. It's a really fucking good show, except for a couple parts that just don't make no sense because the story writers are absolute fucking shit.
Yeah, I
but besides from the some things don't make sense, or some things don't account for other things. Why does one person got his ass beat by someone in power armor when the next go around? Oh, did you know? Since I was in the military, that this armor has one little chink in the armor, and in the first encounter, sharing this fucking person in power armor with like 40 bajillion fucking bullets just all bounce off to one-shotting every motherfucker in power armor. In the dark.
Yes.
Yeah, if you can get past stuff like that, it's a really good show. However, as soon as you put the continuity of the games in, you can tell they absolutely hate Fallout 1. They absolutely hate Fallout 2. They really absolutely fucking hate New Vegas. And yeah. It's a retcon that's not a retcon.
Yeah, it is continuation of the lore. For me, it floats around a 6 for out of 10. So, taking again, as Sparky says, taking the lore away for the most part. Even if you decide to bring in the lore, you're going to have to go from Fallout 3, 4, Fallout Shelter, and 76 as your continuity basis going forward. As for 1, 2, the Brotherhood of Steel, the Fallout Tactic, and New Vegas, scrub that from your memory because, well, it seems
they're in the game. They're in the show.
References are there, but even that, honestly,
it's one of those. Oh, we didn't remove New Vegas. It's there. We didn't retcon it. No, they just retold the entire goddamn story.
Yeah, pretty much. It's so yeah. New Vegas 2, I'm expecting to happen since they're not going to actually literally put it out game wise. They're going to do it in series wise. And the other drawback of this particular series is they dropped it, so it's a binge watch series. So you have 8 episodes, which is roughly about 8 hours, give or take, if you take out the flashback, the beginning portion of it, the recap, and then get rid of the actual end credits. You can kind of float around the 8 hour mark if you keep those in. Oof. That's his extra waste. You can finish it off within a good day, which I think it should have came out an episode every week, just so that people have time to digest. Because right now it just feels like the same players who came out and said that a certain Star Wars, 7, 8, 9 were really good, and then all of a sudden they realized that 7, 8, and 9 were shit. So I feel like this is where we're coming against.
Dragon Gem Max. Let me ask you guys something. Did you guys play New Vegas?
I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
All right, Dragon, have you played New Vegas?
Huh?
Fallout. Have you played Fallout New Vegas?
Not in a long ass time. Why?
Okay, so let me put it like this: capital of the NCR. Spoilers for the show, but I already know you guys are kind of like, nah, probably not gonna watch it. But capital of NCR, Shady Shands, gets nuked in the show,
whatever.
Shady Shands.
Double S. We'll just call it double.
Seashells by this fucking seashore. Goddamn. Anyways, Shady Sands gets nuked in 2277. However, New Vegas happens in 2283. And they mark it as the downfall of Shady Shands, which is actually the downfall of the NCR.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how in the hell the NCR could be a permanent power in New Vegas if the Capitol got bombed 4 or 5 years before the actual game and they're a weakened power.
I like the silence. It's awesome. So I guess that
maybe
kind of
his mic just died again. Who knows?
No,
I don't know.
I ain't got no answer for you.
See,
look, look.
No, I got an answer for you. It just walks.
Here's the thing. I play the video games. When it comes to shit like TV shows based on a video game, I have no fucks to give.
Yeah, but here's the beautiful thing here, Dragon.
Yeah?
This continues the lore of the actual video game.
Oh boy, I should go watch it. Still, down the enthusiasm in my voice.
I know. So yeah, no, this continues the lore. This is the what's going to be coming up into the future games going forward. This will be the foundation for Fallout 5 and anything Fallout related going forward. This is the timeline that they created. This is the structure going beyond. And the moment that we see season 2 of this Fallout thing, they got to make sure that it's got to work with 5, because 5 is going to be coming out sometime soon.
I believe that as much as I believe that Skyrim's coming out.
No, it's happening. Microsoft wants it to happen.
Yeah, but Microsoft's still trying to get the next Elder Scrolls out. And that's
no. It's going to happen regardless whether Bethesda stays within their as a functional company or not, because Microsoft owns everything Bethesda, and so if they wish to close down Bethesda and give the IP to somebody else, they can't.
Hopefully,
Todd Howard can't say anything about it, so it's going to be done.
Hopefully, they give it to Obsidian.
We can only wish that will actually happen, but at this stage of the game, no matter how much Todd Howard says, "Hey, it just works," he's just kind of a figurehead going forward.
I would look at it like this: you're gonna have to put the math into it, because whenever Microsoft decides to sell this bitch, they're gonna put the money they put into this back.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna sell off the IP because they want to keep as many IPs under their belts. They're just going to kill Bethesda.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. They just got to go.
I'm going to remind everyone of a game called Fable. And Microsoft bought Lionsgate. Whatever happened to that?
Another version of Fable's coming out, so it's fine.
It's like the fourth time I've heard that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, it's on the roster. It's being produced as we speak. So,
I'll just say I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay. Because I know they've already put out the trailer for it, and people kind of had a guffaw over the fact of the female character looking like a dude.
I think the appropriate word is an orgasm over it, to a degree.
Questionable.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah, questionable.
Look, it's Fable. If you're not familiar with the absolute fuck ton of fuckery that goes on in that game.
Yeah, well, it's going to be based on a giant.
Oh shit!
And
so why is Mom mentioning orgasm as you excited?
It's just something to Fallout show. It might do that weird thing to get big and pop like a pimple, and it's just all gross.
Look,
that is a literal line a fucking male character says within the show.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. There's been a lot of shit I've fucking seen and heard. So why does that shock you?
Mm-hmm. I wish you would, but no, I'm good. You can have fun with this one. You two can play this game.
You're more than welcome.
I mean, honestly, I don't give a shit about Fallout. I mean, I played it and I enjoy playing the game, but honestly, I don't give a shit about the lore.
I mean,
I could play a game without the lore.
They shit on their own lore enough as it is.
Well, my personal favorite is the lore was destroyed the moment Fallout 3 was conceived. So,
I mean, was it like in Fallout 1 and 2? Like there was only one vault that actually survived, and now we're finding out, there's like many that survived or something.
No, there was a
lot of vaults.
There were a lot of vaults, but only one actually survived.
No, there was actually a handful that actually survived. We just kind of followed the story with one.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the master who pretty much stormed his way into the others that were existing, and he kind of wiped them out. But there's still others that he didn't get a chance to get his fingers on, because he was he was destroyed by the chosen one, if I remember correctly. So,
all right,
there's that, and you have the lore kind of being returned in New Vegas and following it almost religiously, which is why I feel like Todd in that didn't really like this factor, which is why he really hates New Vegas, and they've always kind of slighted New Vegas as best they can and focused on their version of lore. So according to them, the master thing really didn't happen. Vault 13 doesn't really exist. And if anything they can do, they want to kill out the NCR as quickly as possible, because that is the favorite faction that most people who've ever played Fallout quite enjoys, because there's a reason to join them if you so wish. Not like in Fallout 4 where it doesn't matter who you join.
Yeah, you join everybody.
Yeah. You join everybody and can kill everybody. Whereas if you wipe out a faction in New Vegas, well,
bye-bye.
Kind of changes the story a bit.
No, not bye-bye. New person takes charge, different story. The story just basically changes just a little bit.
That's why I said changes the story a bit.
I do know that fact because I watched the video on it, and it said, well, if you kill this guy, this person takes over, and if you kill that person, another person takes over.
Yeah, it creates a power, which I said, it does change the story a bit, which is something that most games don't do.
I mean, they also got the whole mechanic of like you can tell both the NCR and the Caesar Army to go fuck themselves.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, but again, coming back to the lore aspect of it, people bitching over the lore, I get it, but I have to remind them, just like I'm going to remind people for this Warhammer thing, that the lore was already kind of adjusted the moment new people took over.
Yeah.
So if you like Fallout 3, then you like the lore changes. If you like Fallout 4, then you really love those lore changes. And since Shelter's also part of the lore, it also kind of retcons a lot of different things, and so does 76. Even though there's quite a questionable amount of love-hate relationship with that player base, or those people that like that particular game, it definitely changes the lore of the Brotherhood of Steel. Hell, even the Enclaves are now considered the de facto good guy in this conversation. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
You know, it's actually funny because, it's just
Yeah.
I can't. It gives me a fucking headache.
No, and that's basically where we're at. I mean, that is, again, like I said, I just love looking at the grifters. I like playing around, and I, outside of the entire conversation as a bubble, you have to be careful with these people. I mean, it's they're gonna bitch about something.
Can I change this up to something else for a moment?
Go for it. What do you got?
Who here can tell me what the IDF is?
IDF.
IDF.
Are we talking about the Israel Defense Force?
And this is what we're gonna get started at.
Okay.
So, yes and no. IDF is the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Okay.
So, V2.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be talking about the Jubes.
Yeah, no. Well, actually, kind of a little bit. So, as everyone knows, VTubers, I talk about one particular Iron Mouse. She suffers from immunodeficiency disorder. Very sick. It requires a lot of money to treat and cure her ailment. Well, actually, there's no cure, but to treat. So,
well, there's a very quick, easy treatment, and it just requires either a good old shot or a well, either way, it's good old shot.
No. Anyways, her good friend Connor, Sea Dog VA, raises money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation every year. This year was one of the biggest years of all time. They broke over $1 million in Connor Cyclophon. So they go through, they raise this money, they're spreading around it, and put out there, we have just donated $1 million to the IDF. Tell me where you think that goes.
Well, again, I automatically thought of the Israel Defense Forces.
And so did all the other Twitter fucktards.
All right. So this was about the Jubes.
I mean, a roundabout way, they're kind of getting thrown in for no fucking reason, but yeah.
No fucking reason. I mean, it's not like, they're at a quick little dirty war between them and Iran. Roundabout way. No reason of why they could be very, very thought of very quickly. Or the fact you're almost like trillions of dollars are being funneled towards them to keep the wall up.
But hang on. The point is, this is not something new this is not something that, Connor, Sea Dog VA, and Iron Mouse just jumped out of bed one day. Hey, we're going to raise money for a charity for IDF. Mm-hmm. No, this has been an established thing that Connor has done for like 3 or 4 years now. and that is raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Everyone that is a VTuber, if even just a slight fan, knows of Iron Mouse and knows that she suffers from this. Everyone that knows anything about VTubing knows that Sea Dog does this. I'm just astounded that people are like, oh my god, they raised money for a terrorist organization. What have I been doing? The minimalist amount of basic fucking research.
Yeah. You're expecting people to actually do research?
Yeah. Apparently.
I think, I really think it needs to be a rule. I'm sorry, Twitch. But I think if people do this shit, needs that good old shot.
Yeah, I guess. But no. I have been finding it more amusing with the something that Gem kind of laid in the back office there, which was Antifa.
You guys been laying a lot of shit.
Oh god.
Yes.
It's been fun.
I will have to say that my opinion still holds. Nothing's really kind of big's going to happen because when more people look into this, it seems fake. And reports are it's been photoshopped.
That's a shame.
I know.
I was hoping for real. I was hoping it was real. I knew it was probably fake, but I was hoping.
I mean, yeah, there is a lot of different questionables that back on Saturday, July 16th, members of Antifa followed through on the vows to try to disrupt a gathering at the Honky Tonk Bar in Salem, Oregon.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That probably didn't go well for him.
It didn't. Which is the reason of why I said something like this, if Antifa actually did try to,
would not go well for them.
Yeah, because one, there was no weapons drawn. There was nothing really. No hooker was used in the demise of these certain players for that event. We'll just put it this way: a lot of them ended up having hospital visits.
Yeah, it wasn't widely broadcast either, was it? For
no,
reasons,
I wonder why.
Because so many people were hurt, and it just felt weird that they kept it quiet because somebody didn't want, fireworks underneath their car for some reason. I don't know. So I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, so remember that out of the pretty close to 3,000 biker enthusiasts with a international charters, houses in Spain, Netherlands, Canada, the United States, Denmark, and a few other different places, as well as each different house has their own different roster of lovely men who are and women who are enthusiasts of a certain motorcycle brand. They don't discriminate on certain kind of brands of motorcycles if you perchance don't have it, but they will kind of poo-poo it and request that you have these particular types. Yeah, I didn't foresee this being a massive issue. I know you were hoping that there would be a lot of bloodletting going on with this event. Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, this has happened before, and I didn't see anything in the news on your side of things. So I'm like, okay, it's happened before in the States, and no one really talked about it.
No one talked about it because they found out, oh, wait a minute, if we beat the crap out of them, they don't come back? How fascinating.
Yes.
I mean, people do that. Antifa would be getting its ass beat all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And if enough people, wage violence against that group, the cops won't do anything.
Oh, well, especially if Well, the funnier thing is, no matter how much the cops have tried to arrest or deal with our Hell's Angels, they haven't gotten far with it, because not only do the chapters have their members, but they also have outside members that they utilize going forward. So they're a huge pyramid operation.
Oh,
So
some would say they are involved in politics.
they are heavily involved in politics. Hell, one who happens to have brain trauma it could be considered a member.
Oh God, who did he have a stroke too in Pennsylvania?
Possibly it's the guy that we're probably he refuses to wear suits and that.
I know, it's weird. I always wondered about that, and yeah,
it's speculative, questionable. Not going to say it is. It's all but hearsay. I love hearsay, but yeah, no. Again, that was interesting when you posted it in the back, and I'm like going, and then I noticed it up on the twatters. I'm like going, you know what? I don't think it's real, because if it was real, this would have been buried. But it's getting the twatters, so it's like, yeah, not doing a good job.
It's true. It'd be great if it was true, but I understand that it's not.
Yeah. I again, I thought it was interesting, but I was like,
I didn't see anything here, but sometimes you can see more in your world.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't pay attention to when your own citizens decide to set themselves on fire, but I do pay attention to what's happening up here for the most part, and our prime minister, our lovely prime minister, he's being overly ratio on Twitter for a lot of the shit that he's been saying. So he's not doing fairly well.
Going to get 4 million houses by 2031, which if the private sector did it, it would have it 10 times.
That would have been done by now if he just
would have been done yesterday. I mean,
well, do remember that was part of his campaign requirements. That's what he ran on, that he was going to have 4 million houses by the end of 2015.
And it's now, 15 years later. So, yeah.
And he's still trying to go, 4 million houses by this time frame. Yeah, bullshit.
So yeah, it's I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening, unless they have surveillance in them and they're for foreigners.
Yeah, but I don't foresee that he's going to be kicking around.
No.
But then there's also this conversation with furries, and I did throw down some STDs. So I don't know. We have a somewhat furry individual, a lot more individual. Have you been paying attention to the wokeness of furries?
I try not to. I really try really hard not to.
You haven't heard how they're going to school now?
So apparently,
I saw that. I fucking saw that. Look. All I'm gonna say is this is the second to third time this shit's happened. I'm not giving a fuck. This shit happens every time they do this shit.
But when you were back in your day, when you were in high school, would you have liked to have a litter box in your bathroom in high school or grade school? I mean, would you have liked to have had a litter box in your bathroom, Dragon?
He's a dragon.
Okay, hold up.
How about a layer then?
Define, really set the layers for this, because I own cats. All right, I put their litter box in my toilet.
No, that's what I'm saying. They wanted litter boxes in.
Yeah, but no, not just in the bathroom, but in the back of the classes.
Yeah.
God damn it!
So,
okay.
I have to ask the question here, Dragon. Would you prefer a human-sized litter box in the vicinity?
You know what?
Where of your educational, seating.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. As the child who the janitor hated when he went to the toilet, I don't think they want me to even take shit. I don't think they want either option for me.
No.
Here's the thing: if they,
clogged toilets as a child.
If
technically the litter box would have been a more of a benefit, I guess. I saw.
Well, no, I got the perfect one. The one I just put in, and now it's the perfect one.
You know.
Okay.
Oh my god, damn it!
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
There are similarities. I can see the similarities.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about how he still has hair, though. I thought that was certain chemicals will turn the hair into stronger follicles when burned.
Yeah,
but
I think he used.
No, I saw it. I have it. Regardless.
Yeah. That YouTube video matches what we're talking about now for the litter box.
Yeah.
But if they had a litter box back in my day in the school, every day would be Taco Bell day.
Taco Bell day.
And I would go into the back of the room.
Look.
And just let it go.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. It's the kind of child I was. We wouldn't be allowed to have a litter box because I'd see the first kid going over there, and I just go get my baseball bat, and I'd be like, 2 for 1?
Yeah, I can imagine it.
So I got a response back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will wait for that response, man.
Yeah. No,
I feel like that there's a waiting period.
Yeah.
I heard a blink. Let's see here. The blink
He's
went
typing
somewhere.
something. He's typing something.
No,
God damn it.
You know, why don't you just put it
in
in the back office first dental lesson? I mean,
you realize that kind of pushed over. We're past that point.
Hey! You said for the invite.
I did. I mean,
okay.
Come on.
he has
Let's go
access
back.
to the thing if he's so.
He didn't know. Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit.
I'm gonna catch you guys later. I'm feeling.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I feel sick after that too, Dragon.
No, it's not that. I've been on my boss is determined to watch me walk out on their asses. They're slowly.
Do it!
I mean, what you could do it silently.
Oh no, there's no silent. There's gonna be the bot. That's an old Sparky. That's an old video. You know that, right?
Yeah, but it matches.
But no. The sad part is that's the short version. There's a long. There's a trilogy of this.
Yeah, that's 4 months ago. Yeah. And hello, KG.
Hey, long time no see.
I mean, do we get to see you? I mean, long time no hear.
Yeah, that too.
There you go. There we go.
Well, we kind of covered this topic at the beginning of the show, and it's like we got to get KG on this.
Okay. So I open it up with the man on fire. That's a Burning Man question, but it's a completely different thing. But because you and I have a particular fond of a certain say model game that also requires space Nazis and dice and all that kind of stuff. Do you know the game I'm referring to? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, you're talking about the Femstodes.
Yes, the Femstodes. Yes. So according to the man behind the actual books, and that he's been wanting to have this happen for a bit. And it's been kind of kiboshed by the higher ups, and I know the reason of why it was kiboshed. But what's your thought going forward on this?
In all honesty, I think it's one of the stupidest fucking things I think James Workshop has done since the Primaris.
See? See, Sparky?
I said he was gonna have the same take. I just wanted him, rage.
Is it a rage, though?
There's not much rage here.
I didn't get the rage because if I go over to the Shadiversary or the other people, I could hear the rage. I can see it fuming out of them. Like, oh my god, everybody! It's gaslight here, and it's pandemonium apparently. And then
it's a topic that Cassie and I have been talking about since it started.
Yes.
And baby, what's your take on it?
bullshit. It's so stupid. They are literally placing females into a spot where they already have two amazing factions that are strictly female going, women can do it too. See? Girl power. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bitch.
So that's her take on it.
Wow, that's rage.
That
is a little bit of
was a
rage.
bit more vitriol going forward. So she'd be great for this as a counter, but the problem comes back down to the guy that actually helped make the fucking law in the first place. He's all good with this because that's what he wanted to do. The original people behind the Games Workshop, before it was handed off, the keys were handed off to a new group, they said no. The reason why they said no is because of the massive lawsuit that they had previously for not having the models ready, which cost them a pretty good amount of loss in revenue, which is how we got to where we are now.
Well,
So
here's part of the stupid bullshit. One, it says in the lore, I know it's retcon and everything like that, but the intelligent lore that they had was the first sons.
oh, I know, I get that, but
yeah, and then and the biggest and another thing that actually, when we were talking, Cassie pointed out,
yes,
like you got an accurate point here, is Games Workshop is above and beyond anything else, is a miniatures manufacturing company.
correct.
Now, even though they're like, hey, look at us, we got females. Oh yeah, way to make the Sisters of Silence even more irrelevant. The fucking idiots.
I mean, that was one of their better ones, and I wish they'd do something, give some love to the sisters. But hey,
yeah, I mean, the Sisters of Battle and Sisters of Silence. Congratulations, 2 all-female factions that are on par in one form or another to the Space Marines and the Custodes. Well,
a question. Wouldn't the Sisters of Battle kind of chill out with the Custodes every now and then because their armament's pretty much similar?
No, they're actually 2 totally different factions. The Emperor's 10,000, which is the Custodes.
No, I know, but
bodyguards. Oh, you know this. I know this, but
yeah,
the other people probably listening are
of
like,
course.
"What the fuck is a Custodes?" And that's somebody who cleans up after you make a mess. No, these are the super work of art soldiers that the Emperor made to protect him and the palace.
Mhm.
One of these guys, a Custode can wipe out an entire squad of 10 Space Marines and then just turn around and like it's a day ending in Y. It's nothing to these people.
Mhm.
And so the Adeptus Astartes, which is the Space Marines, are what people consider down kind of the mass-produced version of the Custodes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They're okay. So if you had to put it in Star Wars terminology, prequel wise, they would kind of remember the droids.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. Let's go with that.
These guys would be the destroyer droids. You know,
Yes.
so if you're using that analogy, these guys are the destroyer droids. Because if you try and hurt them, only thing you're really going to do is just piss them off.
Mm.
The super battle droids, the big gray ones with the armament attached to their arms, would be the Space Marines, and your average Roger would be your Imperial Guard.
Yep.
But these were the Custodes are male. They are, and if I remember the quotation correctly, it's his favorite sons.
Yes.
These guys were so trained that one of the things they had was called blood games, which is members of the Custody would leave Terra and then would try to come back and legitimately kill the Emperor. This wasn't some stage, okay, I'm going to walk up and poke him with a stick. Yeah, you'll poke him with a stick and with the intent to kill him, and the Custodes' jobs were to stop you. And this is a blood game. Now, another thing these guys do is they go through demons like fuck. Like I go through bacon bits. I mean,
They do.
yeah,
Yum.
yeah, these guys are absolute juggernauts of death and destruction. And then to go, ever since the beginning, there were women. Okay. Now I'm going to take part of Cassie's rant here. Is then where the fuck are the named characters throughout the lore? If they have literally been there through the entire time, why wasn't there not one mentioned earlier in the books and so forth? Where were they?
Well, I can give you a slight counter with that. There has been in some of the books and some of the actual lore that was actually created by the lore master, we'll call him that, where he left things kind of ambiguous for the most part. Yet we have lore of certain more prestigious areas of the custodies, but there are moments where he does leave the gender kind of ambiguous. So there is a way of working it. Yes, I understand. I will agree that this is a retconning of putting in women in a what was considered an all-male spot. But because of this fucking writer who they've had create their entire lore, he's actually peppered in plausibility.
Well,
so it's like, ugh. And now because he's gotten now that he has the old oligarchs that kept everything in control out of those chairs and new people in, he's been given the go-ahead going forward.
Which, it also is one of those things that I can't remember the name of the dude, but I think it was 3rd edition, came out and said, every Space Marine out there that is not an Ultramarine thinks the Ultramarines are the coolest thing in the world. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're making the Ultra Smurfs
Yes.
the poster child for all of the Space Marines.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Matter of fact, that's why you basically made the Ultramarines one of the most despised of the chapters, because they're like, hey, Mighty Terra would have fallen if it wasn't for the Ultramarines. Yeah, right. Tell that to the Imperial Fists, dickhead.
Yeah. I see something behind. I just got a chance to read it, so just continue while I fuck around with something.
But
so
yeah, so the shoehorning of the Femstodes in with the Custodes is, if you look at it just logically, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because, and again, this is something that Cassie and I have talked about. Yes, the Custodes they can be diplomats. Think about it. They're very Jedi-esque theoretically on how they do things.
Correct.
But if you already have like a mostly male group, are you telling me that you are also going to be going through those advanced surgeries, implantations, and everything to try and make a female on par physically with the males?
Well, I could see it trying to become a thing, honestly. I mean, look, when you've already retconned, and I hate this, when you've already retconned the Necros from being Terminator-like characters to now Pharaoh-like characters that are subservient to whatever, and I forget what it was, making them pretty much pointless and almost a cosmic joke. I could see them kind of going beyond this point to actually fuck around with everything else, and which is kind of where we're at with anything Games Workshop wise. I don't think they really care about their lore, because I think that was something that was brought in through one writer, honestly, if I remember that portion of actual business lore. So it's like, okay.
Well, the original lore was Rogue Trader, which was kind of the building blocks for where 40K came from. and it was kind of ridiculous. But
Yes.
the fact that we're going to go back and rewrite history, and it's one of those you just kind of throw your hands up and go, why?
No, I get it.
And another thing is they're not even making female miniatures. They have not made an announcement or anything.
I know.
So,
which is why I said earlier that I can't wait for that lawsuit to happen, or I can't wait until people start making these miniatures that are not part of Games Workshops or whatever that industry, because that's their bread and butter, and they can't do fuck all about it because of the fact of the previous lawsuit that they had that fucked them over because of this. So I mean, I'm more interested in what's going to happen afterwards, because we're already seeing a mild exodus of players leaving the game itself,
and cutting off their subscriptions and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of started backing away when it's like, hey, this no-named guy from Mars, look at what he did, what the Emperor couldn't do. He improved on the Space Marines. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah,
I
mean, and again, I'm more of the book person. I never wanted to invest my time in the miniature. I looked at that actually in the work I was doing for concierge shit and that. I actually had one of my actual guys who actually was getting into that miniature stuff for Warhammer and that, and he was going through it, and I'm like going, yeah, no, that was never for me, but kudos for you wanting to do this, because you found characters that you like, or warriors that you like, and you're making an entire army. Great, that's good for you, but not for me. I'm just going to continue with the books and shit and kind of go from that point. But even while I was kind of reading through the books, there's elements that I can tell that there has been some twisting and some changes. I'm like going, okay, how much further before something massive is going to happen again? And it took about a decade or so before another massive stupidity happened, and here we are. So,
I know there's rumors going around that part of the reason for the addition of the Femstodes is because Amazon was pushing it because of the Henry Cavill.
Yes, I heard that too.
Which,
well, because that's his favorite faction. Custodes.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yes. And the series is based off of them. That's coming up. So yeah,
I think officially they started coming out 8th edition, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's
Cavill's a very loyal follower of a lot of lore, which is one of the reasons why he said "fuck it, I'm out" for The Witcher.
Yep.
Because they were going against the lore, and honestly, I know, and I can't really see this being a rumor and innuendo going forward, because there has been people who are behind this coming out secretly because of the NDAs that they had to sign. Otherwise, they'll be sued out of their ass. Coming out saying that, yeah, we've heard this. I was in front when this actually happened. That Cavill pretty much said that there is no female custody. Not on my watch. I have total control of this. Fuck off. That kind of shit. So I could see him just walking, and this thing being handed off to somebody else to be continued. Which wouldn't be the first time that,
I mean, he's still going to get paid. He doesn't.
Oh yeah.
They'll be like, "Hey, we don't want you anymore." He's like, "Fine, I still get paid. I don't care." I mean, and he got paid a pretty fucking penny by Amazon to do this. So if Amazon wants to throw away that money, be my guest.
And so I could see it, because I know the initiative Amazon has, because they have a DEI incentive that is there.
Oh, yeah.
They have to have gender affirming characters that fit the check marks. They have to be a woman, a person of color, a person of queerness, of whatever it is, and if they're a combination, even better. And every show going forward has to have a woman.
And the thing is, if they really wanted to put a armor-clad female in the show, grab a sororitas. It doesn't
Yeah,
even
there
have
we
to be
go.
ordo militant. You can pick a hospitaller, a dialogus. I mean, there's any number of branches within the Sisters of Battle. Well, Sisters of Battle are ordo militant,
Yeah,
but any of those that are
that's probably
attached
who I was thinking of.
to them. So it's like, why a custody? You could have. There's even the I can't remember the name of the assassin faction, but it's all female.
Yeah.
And they actually have this stuff called polymorphine, which allows them to change their bodies into whatever. You could attach one of them. The number of things that they could have done instead of making a female custody is numerous.
Would you believe that they're just called the officio assassinomian or something like that?
There's 4 different temples within.
I know. I mean, there's the adaptus administrative, administratum.
Yeah.
And then there's the assassin, which is pretty much assassin with inonorium at the end of it.
The officio assassinorum.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. So yeah. So I mean, they could have used any other type of factions that do exist within this world, but again.
And the thing is this is a reality check to everybody else out there who's like, well, Warhammer is not inclusive and so forth. Reality check is this: the Emperor doesn't give a fuck your skin color, your gender, what you identify as. If you are willing to die for him in the Imperium, he gives you his blessing.
Pretty much.
Nobody cares.
Correct.
And a lot of the people that I've heard talk about, well, it's bigotry. No, it's not. It's, if you look at it, you're shoehorning in something that already exists. So you are taking away eyes and desires of researching when it comes from, there's female custody. Well, congratulations. You just essentially made, just threw the Sisters of Silence under the bus, because there are factions in the miniatures game. I mean, squad units in the miniatures game that have to have Sisters of Battle to make it work properly.
Mm-hmm.
So you just basically are like, well, we don't need this woman faction. We'll just add women over here.
Yeah.
And again, the Sisters of Battle, they're fucking awesome. They are.
I know they're
gun-toting nuns who have bolters, flamethrowers, which is one of their favorite toys.
Yes.
Swords, almost all the toys that the Space Marines have, the Sisters of Battle can use.
Mm-hmm.
And they prefer the cleansing flames of a heavy flamer.
Oh fuck yes!
I mean, they have more. They get wet more about the flamers than freaking salamanders, and the salamanders are named for flamethrowers.
I know.
One visited New York recently.
Yeah. And the thing is the salamanders are all black.
Yes.
They are legitimately black-skinned, glowing red eyes, and they are the nicest of all the Space Marine chapters because they actually still interact with the civilians and such.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I mean, again, they're these individuals that decided to, I'm gonna have to say, restructure, not really shoehorn, but restructure things again. Have pretty much made giant blue Smurf Nazis very popular, and for whatever reason, don't know why. They've taken away certain abilities or certain characteristics from other existing alien factions, Xenos. And have restructured the what is it? They also restructured a certain timeline, because you got the Ages of Sigmar. That was kind of a retcon.
Yeah, they just fucked over the Warhammer Fantasy thing, and then are trying to backtrack and go, no, look, this is actually this is good. We're doing better
no, I
now.
didn't. See, this is the reason why I've always liked the story of God's ghosts, because of the factor that because going into the horrors kind of shit, that's a completely that is a clusterfuck all by itself. The Fall of Horus and that, and then a lot of the retconning that they've done for everything else. I'm like, you know what? I'll just stick with the grunts that have to go onto the ground and listen to the Brothers of Arms kind of story, or read that. It's a lot more fun in my case, because I don't have to worry about really focusing on a certain character or a certain faction and having completely retcon, because like I said, I had some areas that I actually thought were interesting, some factions in that, Necrons being one of them, because I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of a not really over unique but interesting.
Yeah.
And then I had to fall back on the Green Boys. I had to fall back on them because they're the only ones that they haven't really fucked around with.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and so it's like the whole basis doesn't make sense.
No.
If they were to like come out and say, so there are a few female custodies, because I think this is something that a YouTuber I watched, somebody there mentioned, was if they were to to made it that the Emperor, when he was making the custodies, made male and female because it was to show his desire for like the peak level of human evolution. This is, his idealized standard for what humans can become. Yeah, the idea of a female custodian would make me go, all right, that's still kind of dumb, but at least you made it sound somewhat plausible that the Emperor is like, all right, we'll try both out and see what we can do.
Well, it would bring, the weirder thing is, even though it's supposed to be a religious kind of story, let's put it that way, it would kind of make sense to a degree, because again, you have God that created his Adam, which is his perfect male, and then you'll have God creating Eve, now usually through the help of Adam, but in this case would be through him technically. So it would work for a society that's supposed to be atheistic. They have a really weird kind of God thing going on.
It's the Emperor never wanted to be viewed as a god, but after he was, after the Horus heresies, and he ended up on the Golden Throne.
Yeah, technically he originally was dead, and then through a bit of retconning, he's alive. So
depends on who you ask.
I know. But again, it's just fuck me. But yeah, no. Like I said, I'm not overly upset with the idea, because I do know through some of the actual books that do cover the custodies, hell, even some of the actual Gabe's Bible that actually does cover it. They do say he do use male pronouns, but they also use gender neutral pronouns. So I again, like I said, I could see them trying to sneak that in, and I really see it as more of a fuck you, a middle finger to Henry Cavill, because find it funny that Games Workshop has this series that's being controlled and looked after by Henry Cavill, and just now there's a fuck you moment.
Well, not only that, but another war that has been fought for a while now is the whole idea of the female space marine.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah, I'm one of the ones. It's like, you, through the gene seed implantation and everything like that, you're basically turning this child, because they usually start off at like age of 10, into a genetic clone of a male, the Primarch in this case.
Yes.
So,
wouldn't it be okay? How about this one? Spitballing. What if there was a female Primarch?
Well, there are 2 missing Primarchs that no one has said anything about.
And what if that missing again female? And what if that Primarch is the gene seed for all of the sisters?
Sisters do not have implantations like that.
No, but just kind of. I guess it's spitballing.
I know, but that's why I'm cutting you off right there, is because
No, I know.
Battle
I
don't do that. I actually just had this conversation with Cassie. But if it was discovered that one of the two missing Primarchs was female, like something that Cassie was suggesting,
Yes.
then it would be like, okay, well, there was nothing, everything Imperial records wise for these two are gone. There is zero information on these two Primarchs.
So gaslighting. We actually have like a legitimate story.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
that would
but again, you can also throw in the sisters as well. May not be, an actual proper, Again, remember, we are dealing with an organization that keeps a lot of things secret and a lot of details that have been missing for the most part. The only person who has the full information is Lord Emperor.
Well, and we know where the Sisters of Battle came from, because they were originally called the Daughters of the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
And they came from an agricultural world, as this usurper was wanting to take over the Imperium. And
correct.
Long story short, he died, and the Sisters of Battle were born.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if they were to say, "Hey, it turns out," I can't remember which legion is missing, but if it was like, "Hey, it turns out that this one here was a daughter."
Mm-hmm.
And so now we can do that. So it's an all-female legion of. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, no, I again, like I said, I spitball. I'm more of a person like the stories and whatnot, because that's something I'm kind of fascinated with. And when it comes down to the traditions and lores and that, unfortunately, they change through the course of whoever's writing. And just like what happened with the X-Men, it has solid lore. Then all of a sudden, there's a lot of changes. It's because of a different writer. Going forward, you do have, as you mentioned, a couple of different tribes, a couple of different Primarchs that are missing, which will help fill in if they do explain it a bit better, as well as you can have a little bit of, you could say, a creative retconning with the sisters to the point. You can actually, even though it was stated that this happened in this way, you could probably say it was more of a propaganda piece to be believed that this happened this way.
Yeah.
And again, it's just, these are spitballs. These are right. This is where they could have went. That could have been very easy and allowed this to be, just washed over. But honestly, I think this is more or less nothing to do with the actual player base itself, but the player base is going to be, well, up in arms for whatever reason, because hell, that's what the player base does. But when it comes back down to, I really think this is Amazon and Games Workshop giving the middle finger to Henry Cavill.
I would believe that, because again, if this was actually something that Games Workshop was doing on their own, and they're like, "Hey, we're doing this," where's the announcements of the new figures?
Correct.
That's
there is none.
Their whole thing.
Yeah, I know. Which is the reason why it falls back to, I would like to see the figure itself, because right now, from what I'm hearing and what the rumors are out, is that this is just going to be by word. They're just going to put it in a couple of manuals, couple of codexes, and that's it. They may mention it in a book as a throwaway passage, but it means nothing. They're not going to have a figure at this point. There's no plans at this point for it, which is why I'm like, well, I can't wait until the lawsuit trying to happen, because that's going to be a thing, or people making these figures out of whim and them trying to reject it, and they can't. They outright can't. They have to accept it because of the previous lawsuit that they had, that they fucked themselves over.
Well, and here's my question. How are you going to legitimately differentiate a Custody Titan male and a Custody Titan and a Dreadnought female?
You won't.
Exactly. So what's the fucking point?
I know. That's where it's like, But yeah, no, this feels more, because I know who's on the actual board, and unfortunately BlackRock and Vanguard have controlling shares collectively on this board. which is 11.50, well, 11.5%, which they overruled just about everybody singly. If the rest of them got together, then yeah, they probably would outrule the Vanguard BlackRock. But this is ESG money that's going into Games Workshop.
Oh yeah.
So that on top of ESG money that's going into the Amazon studios, I'm seeing this as a massive fuck you moment to one Henry Cavill. So I'm hoping that more information gets eked out and that Henry Cavill just says, fuck you, I'm going home. And then they have to figure shit out, because that would just mean that, again, just like what happened on The Witcher, because that turned for Netflix, because what used to be a 7-season series is now a 5-season series, maybe. And that's on the basis of if Liam is good.
And this is the thing about Games Workshop and this Amazon series is Games Workshop has been trying hard to try and make 40K as mainstream as possible.
Yes.
If this show flops, they're going to lose shit tons.
Oh yeah. This is just their minor exodus that they're having is pittance comparative to what's going to happen if they can't get the normies.
Yeah. And the thing is they're forgetting, because this is, even though this is a large hobby, one, it's a very expensive goddamn hobby.
It is. That's another reason why I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. For the record, for those of you who don't know, a squad of tactical Marines, so your basic 10 people Space Marines, gray, so because you have to paint them, you have to build them, and you can customize them a little bit here and there, is roughly $60 per squad.
Yeah.
And most armies are like anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 points. And these little guys each might be 15, 20 points each.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do the math real quick. And if this is one of those things that they drop hard, then everyone that they're trying to bring in, it's just going to be like, if what we're watching has anything to do with what you're wanting to spend and play with, you're insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I mean, you can drop you're pretty close to, let's say, $300, because you don't want just one squad, you want a couple, and you want other things to go with. So you could drop $600 if you wish to on the figures, or you can throw that money down on a 3D printer and print them yourself, because that's basically where we're at now.
And that's what I've been seeing in comments on a lot of YouTube channels. It's like, well, I guess I'm firing up my 3D printer and making my own stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's something that they were having issues previously, because that was a thing that was happening. And now all it is just converting those players to just simply go to, a 3D printer. It's cheaper in the long run. So.
Or secondhand.
Yes. So fuck yeah.
I
don't know.
Track of how many times I was like, all right, well, I've got 5 legs and 5 pairs of arms left over from this pack. Well, I buy a torso, a power pack, and a head, and boom, now I've got 5 more guys.
Oh yeah.
For like an extra $10-15.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, as well as you got the kit bashing that comes with, that's the reason why I like the orcs. It's a factor that they can pretty much be kit bashing, have fun with that shit. But yeah, no, they've taken away a lot of the creativity. They've taken away a degree of the fun behind the actual lore that there was, just to restructure a few things because their lore master deemed it worthy. And now they're just, again, throwing in another kibosh that, in this case, is affecting will be heavily affecting them going forward because of the factor of the Gamergate 2.0, the DEI catastrophe that's happening, and this doesn't help because unlike Fallout, who's kind of restructured their lore since Fallout 3, that pretty much brought interest for people who haven't really played the game or haven't played the game in a long time to go back to it. And again, for the Games Workshop, seeing this, what was happened to the Lord of the Rings, that was kind of unsuccessful, and the ones that were successful, unfortunately, The Last of Us being one of them, this could have brought in new eyes to this hard to follow game. More so, it's easier to read through books.
Yeah.
And now people are just kind of going, I'm not interested. I'm not going to get rid of my entire, swab of books because, again, they're books. So, and I quite enjoy reading them. And unfortunately, you can't change a lot in the book. I mean, future ones you can, but the past, they could say, just like Kathleen Kennedy, that, hey, they no longer belong to the continuity. And I'm like, you know what? Doesn't matter. I still have them. Can't do fuck about it.
Again, that's what one of the guys that I watched mentioned is, you know what? Games Workshop owns the IP and they make the lore.
Yep.
However, they don't own the hobby.
Definitely
So
not.
if you're like, okay, well, like for me, I love BattleTech. It was like one of the first games I played, when I was really getting into gaming again.
Yeah.
And I despise the whole Dark Age era.
Oh, yeah.
And like the word of Blake Jihad. I think it's the stupidest shit ever.
It was.
Well, guess what? They may have written the books and all this, but it doesn't mean that I or my gaming group has to acknowledge that it exists.
Correct.
So, in the grand scheme of things, if Games Workshop goes, well, the Primaris Marine, well, they're kind of already doing this anyway.
Yeah, they are.
Marines are what all the new Marines are going to be. Well, good for you. As far as I'm concerned, the Primaris is the name of the armor. All the bells and whistles that you guys have attached to these new super duper Marines, is only the armor. The Space Marine is still the same. And that's the way I like it, because the way that you guys wrote it fucking dumb. And with the whole Femme Custodes, yeah, personally to me, it's one of the dumbest things I've heard.
Oh yeah, it is a dumb idea, but it's like, I'm not gonna be like others that are out there and just scream at my camera for a half hour because whatever. It's done. Nothing we can do about it. Just go forward. You choose with whether you wish to vote with your wallet and just tap out here, which is fine, which is good. Yeah. Which is why I always say, vote with your fucking wallet. Or you just kind of be like everybody else that had to deal with the whole, D&D when they came out with the 5th edition, or D&D 1, and say, fuck it, no, I'm just going to go back to 3.5 because that's what's the best one. And all the other ones don't exist.
I don't know if you heard that, but Cassie just said that right before you said that.
So, I mean, her and I have kind of similar wavelengths. It's kind of weird. But
it's like, again, with like me, there's a game series that I used to play a lot for tabletop and miniatures called Heavy Gear.
Yes.
And since they started leaning more into the Heavy Gear Blitz stuff, some of the shit that they're writing doesn't make sense. Nope. But that's because they're going more in the miniatures route instead of a role-playing game route, which I get. But
good money in it.
It's one of those, I don't have to acknowledge the Blitz stuff. I just put that aside and just keep going with what was already there. Correct. 2nd edition was awesome, and this new edition is kind of meh.
Yeah.
And so that's what I use. That's what I play.
It makes sense going forward. And I wish more people were kind of like that. Choose wisely. Because, again, that comes back down to a lot of my rants kind of go, it's like, vote with your wallet. You either participate or you don't. And if you participate, you get to choose what you want to, ingest and fuck the rest. But I don't know. That's kind of the grips going for. But the greater question for me between us, are you going to ultimately end your Games Workshop, tenure, or are you just kind of go, fuck it, just it is what it is, and I'm just gonna kind of just ignore the rest of the shit and just kind of deal with the rest as is?
I'm gonna do what I always do, which is if I see it, if I'm like, oh, that's an interesting miniature, I'll buy it.
Yeah. There you go.
If it's, I be honest, I haven't actually been able to sit down and play Warhammer in years.
Nah, I get it. Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, you still have all those, those models and that you and Mrs. have to put together. So
I have 2 armies. I have that are built and painted. I've got the rules for kill team, which is small skirmishes, and I've got miniatures for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not getting rid of my stuff. Fuck that noise. I put a lot of time and effort in painting and building them. Fuck.
Don't forget the money. I mean, come on, it's plastic, but still.
I mean, these miniatures, take me like 8-9 hours to paint one because I'm that fucking meticulous on it.
Yeah, but,
and I'm not going to throw that out because some jerkweed is like, what would be kind of cool? Hey, let's do this. Can I get paid now, please? Thank you.
I know, fuck me. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna be like the others out there. Like I said, for the talking heads on the tubes, it is what it is. It unfortunately, you have the powers that be. We can say, oh my god, it's DEI at work again. Yeah, well, if it's DEI at work again, then just simply stop putting down your monies, move someplace else.
Just treat it like I've been treating Star Wars. It's like, we have the prequel, which is a little bit odd, but that's its own thing. We have the originals, which is all bowed down to the great and powerful, and then we have some weird fever dream that apparently someone thought it would be fun to make films and movies and TV shows.
Yeah. I mean, I've always kind of go with this, but you have the Lucas saga, the Lucas 6. That was his child, and it's the rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker. And the story ends. That's it. There's nothing further beyond that point. And the rest is just a weird fever dream by Disney and Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
So it's like,
or as Cassie keeps saying next to me, drugs.
Yeah, drugs. Yeah, that works. That works too. But no, I mean, as usual, it's good to have a level head. Most people don't. And I wish more people did. But thank you for coming along here, KG, for fun and excitement. Are we going to see you back in the group gaming moments?
I'm hoping so. Things are still kind of up, down, and huge.
No, I get it. Because
I'm still twisting daily at the work.
Same.
Oh, well, I understand because now because of this Fallout series that myself, Sparky, and Nemo are covering, I've got to talk to Jim on restructuring our little adult, Twits gaming thing for maybe a Wednesday or something. Because Thursday, it seems to be the recording day, and it's going to kind of bleed over. So we'll probably have to do it Wednesday.
No, sir.
Okay, so and we've been playing mostly kind of other games, kind of going back and forth. We're right now doing Star Citizen. It's actually, I believe, after the Citizen Con that's coming out, we should be getting the update 3.23. So it's like that's kind of cool. But the other games that we played, they've officially been released.
Oh yeah.
So. Nice. So yeah, I'm like, I want to go back to V-Rising because it's officially released. I want to go back to Grounded because that's officially released. Conan Exiles is officially released. Actually, it's got new campaigns now.
Nice.
As well as there was another game that we were playing that's also officially released. Oh god,
we're playing Dead Poly a lot.
Dead Poly's been restructured. They've actually moved away from the Unity 4 to go to Unity 5, and they're restructuring it.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But they did re-release some of the older maps, so now they're just expanding, which is great. But it's not officially released yet.
Yeah, the only games I've really been playing has been
sorry. The Viking
What you're
game.
talking about.
Valheim. Valheim is officially
Valheim.
released.
I know what you were talking about. That was like, yeah, that's another one we've been talking about playing again.
Yes, Valheim is also.
I still gotta get grounded. I just haven't bothered to get that yet.
It's away, no rush. I mean, it's just giant spiders and bugs. But anyways, as you were saying, before we got sidetracked there, KG.
I've been playing like Bolt Gun.
Okay, that's actually good.
40K, which is fun. I started playing Front Mission the first.
Okay.
And I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Nice.
She'll go in like well, let's put it this way. She doesn't know what stealth is. She's about as subtle as a chainsword in a library. It's true.
I'm not saying it's not true, but shit.
I mean, technically, what is stealth if you have a chainsword and you know, able to get weapon?
Well, that's why her faction or she's claimed the Flesh Terrors as her chapter.
Sure.
So yeah.
It works. I mean, look, again, stealth is not needed if you have the proper equipment. Because who's going to say that they heard you if there's no one alive?
She's just going optional. Stealth is optional.
It is optional.
If they're dead, they can't hear you.
That's what he just said.
Who's going to say they heard somebody sneak up on them if they're dead? I mean, technically, that's a good indicator that you're really good at stealth.
Yeah.
So I mean,
there you go. That's all you need.
I have backup now.
See,
I mean,
if
anything.
That's my mindset.
If Skyrim 5 has, Skyrim has taught us anything, all you need is stealth.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, all you need is stealth.
Actually, all you need is a high elf, a bow, and an archery kit. That's it.
Well, no, all you need is a bear, a wall, and unlimited amount of time to walk away from your computer. So,
well, that works too. That works too. But no, it turns out that the archery has always been OP in Elder Scrolls. No matter how much they say they buffed it or nerfed it or whatever, it's always OP. So it doesn't really matter. That's like a sniper from afar. You're guaranteed to
stealth
archer. I know, right? Stealth archer. You can stand right in front of the person. They can see you, and you can still get the stealth kill.
Well, have you guys watched Viva La Dirt League?
I have.
Yeah, one of the little videos they have is about stealth archers and how they always go back to it. And it's like, yeah, if you can be, basically a sniper super ninja, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, definitely.
Face with a giant war. Like, fine, I want them to see the giant thing that's about to make the brains go from the inside to the outside.
I mean, there are One Punch Man runs. So I mean, realistically.
Yeah, or you can go the hyper violent route that my future missus has said.
I heard. But yeah, no. Again, like I said, thank you for coming along. We're gonna wrap this motherfucker up. We've did the overtime. We kind of nerded out on a subject that wasn't hopefully entertaining for at least two members.
Oh no, I was having fun when you guys talk. We don't get KG in very often, and I know he's been gone for a while. So
yeah. I don't push. He's got buttons. He has the ability to come in and go.
I kind of wish we got to the latest game that's going to be coming out here soon, but we can wait because
it's always later. But as usual, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along for yet another fine edition of GNF Televisable. We talk about all the hot button features and anything that we kind of find amusing. Internet being internet. As usual, I give these motherfuckers their last rites. I hit buttons. We get the fuck out of here.
Talk how it doesn't just work. Your show sucks.
Wait till the modders get a hold of it. Come on, give it some time.
I wish modders could get a hold of it.
KG, since you're the last one for this totem pole, what's your last word?
There's not enough alcohol.
Good night, folks.